From billionaire playboy to legendary hero, the journey of Oliver Queen is one of the most compelling transformations in the superhero pantheon. His evolution from a selfish, carefree heir to a selfless protector of Star City wasn't just about donning a hood and wielding a bow. It was about discovering what true heroism means in a world of moral ambiguity. Before the shipwreck that would forever alter his destiny, Oliver Queen lived the quintessential life of privilege. As the son of billionaire industrialist Robert Queen and his wife Moira, Oliver had everything money could buy. He spent his days partying, chasing women, and squandering his potential, with little regard for responsibility or consequence. His best friend Tommy Merlyn was his partner in these escapades, while his girlfriend Laurel Lance often found herself forgiving his numerous indiscretions, including Oliver's affair with her sister Sarah. In 2007, Oliver invited Sarah to join him on his father's yacht, the Queen's Gambit, for what was supposed to be a leisurely cruise through the North China Sea. But fate had other plans. A violent storm tore the yacht apart, and in the chaos, Oliver witnessed Sarah being swept away by the raging waters. He, along with his father and a crew member, managed to escape on a life raft, but survival came at a terrible price. With limited supplies and dwindling hope of rescue, Robert Queen made the ultimate sacrifice. After revealing to Oliver that he had failed their city and entrusting him with a mysterious notebook, Robert shot the crew member and then himself, ensuring his son would have enough resources to survive. Washing ashore on the remote island of Lian Yu, Mandarin for purgatory, Oliver found himself utterly alone in a hostile environment. The island was a crucible that forged him anew. His first mentor was Yao Fei, a skilled archer who taught Oliver the fundamentals of survival and combat. Through Yao Fei, Oliver met Slade Wilson, an ASIS operative stranded on the island, who further honed Oliver's fighting abilities and strategic thinking. It was also on Lian Yu that Oliver first encountered the shadowy organization known as ARGUS and its formidable leader, Amanda Waller. The 5 years Oliver spent away from Starling City weren't confined to Lian Yu. His journey took him to Hong Kong, where he worked as an ARGUS operative under Waller's command, and to Russia, where he became a captain in the Bratva, the Russian mafia. Each experience stripped away another layer of the privileged playboy, replacing it with the hardened resolve of a warrior. He learned to kill, to torture, to do whatever was necessary to survive and complete his missions. But these dark skills came with an equally dark cost to his soul. When Oliver finally returned to Starling City in 2012, he was presumed dead by the world. His homecoming was a media sensation, but few could see the profound changes beneath his carefully constructed facade. While he publicly resumed his role as the irresponsible heir to Queen Consolidated, privately, he began a crusade to fulfill his father's dying wish, to right the wrongs of Starling City's elite, whose corruption and greed had poisoned the city. Armed with a bow, arrows, and the list of names from his father's notebook, Oliver became the Hood, a vigilante who targeted the wealthy and powerful who had failed the city. His methods were brutal and often lethal, reflecting the harsh lessons of his 5 years in hell. But his mission was complicated by the web of relationships he had to navigate. His mother Moira, whose secrets ran deeper than he could imagine. His sister Thea, who had grown up in his absence. His best friend Tommy, who couldn't understand the darkness within him. And Laurel, whose feelings for Oliver were tangled with grief over Sarah's presumed death. Oliver's crusade might have remained a solitary one if not for John Diggle, a former Special Forces soldier hired as his bodyguard. Initially skeptical of Oliver's vigilante activities, Diggle eventually became his first ally, bringing not just his combat skills, but also his moral compass to Oliver's mission. Diggle challenged Oliver's lethal approach, pushing him to find a better way to deliver justice. The team expanded with the addition of Felicity Smoke, an IT expert at Queen Consolidated, whose technological brilliance was matched only by her awkward charm. What began as occasional assistance soon evolved into a full partnership, with Felicity providing the technical support that amplified Oliver's effectiveness as a vigilante. Together, Oliver, Diggle, and Felicity formed the core of what would later become Team Arrow, operating from a secret base beneath Oliver's nightclub, Verdant. As the Hood evolved into the Arrow, Oliver's approach to justice also evolved. Influenced by Diggle's military ethics and Felicity's compassion, he began to seek non-lethal methods of neutralizing threats. This shift was accelerated by the death of Tommy Merlyn during the undertaking, a catastrophic event orchestrated by Tommy's father, Malcolm Merlyn, to destroy the crime-ridden Glades neighborhood. Tommy's dying words, calling Oliver a murderer, haunted him and catalyzed his commitment to finding a better way. But the path to heroism was fraught with personal and external challenges. Oliver's dual identity strained his relationships, particularly with his family. His mother's involvement with Malcolm Merlyn and her knowledge of the undertaking shattered his trust. His sister Thea's discovery of her true parentage, that Malcolm, not Robert, was her biological father, further complicated family dynamics. And his romantic feelings for Felicity, which evolved from friendship to deep love, were constantly tested by the dangers of their vigilante lifestyle. External threats were equally formidable. Slade Wilson, once Oliver's mentor and friend on Lian Yu, returned to Starling City as the enhanced soldier Deathstroke, seeking revenge for the death of Shadow, a woman they both loved. Ra's al Ghul, the ancient and powerful leader of the League of Assassins, forced Oliver into a deadly duel and later coerced him into becoming his heir. Damien Dark, a former League member with mystical powers, nearly succeeded in destroying Star City with nuclear weapons. Each enemy pushed Oliver to his limits, testing not just his physical abilities, but his resolve and his values. Perhaps the most significant evolution in Oliver's journey was his transformation from the Arrow to the Green Arrow. After a period of retirement, during which he sought a normal life with Felicity, Oliver returned to a Star City in chaos. But this time, he returned with a new identity and a new philosophy. The Green Arrow was not just a vigilante, but a symbol of hope for a city in darkness. He operated in the light, inspiring others to join his cause rather than striking fear from the shadows. This new approach allowed Team Arrow to expand, incorporating new heroes like Thea as Speedy, Laurel as Black Canary, following in her sister Sarah's footsteps, and later recruits like Wild Dog, Mr. Terrific, and Black Canary's successor, Dinah Drake. Oliver became not just a fighter, but a leader and mentor, passing on his skills and wisdom to a new generation of heroes. Oliver's commitment to Star City extended beyond his vigilante activities. Recognizing that true change required addressing systemic issues, he entered politics, eventually becoming the mayor of Star City. This position allowed him to fight corruption and crime on two fronts, as the Green Arrow by night and as Mayor Queen by day. Though his political career was tumultuous, marked by scandals and impeachment, it represented his understanding that saving his city required more than just taking down bad guys. The scope of Oliver's heroism expanded beyond Star City through his alliances with other superheroes. His friendship with Barry Allen, the Flash, began when Barry was still a forensic scientist investigating a robbery at Queen Consolidated. This relationship evolved into a partnership between two heroes with vastly different approaches but shared values. Similarly, Oliver's encounters with Kara Danvers, Supergirl from Another Earth, and the time-traveling legends led by Sarah Lance, who had survived the shipwreck and become the White Canary, created a network of heroes capable of addressing threats on a multiversal scale. These alliances proved crucial during the Crisis on Infinite Earths, a cataclysmic event that threatened the entire multiverse. The Monitor, a cosmic being who had been preparing for this crisis, revealed to Oliver that he was destined to die saving the multiverse. True to his character, Oliver accepted this fate, understanding that sacrifice was the ultimate expression of heroism. During the crisis, Oliver fought valiantly against the Anti-Monitor's forces, saving countless lives before falling in battle. But even in death, Oliver's heroism continued. His soul, preserved by the Monitor, was transformed into the Spectre, a powerful cosmic entity. As the Spectre, Oliver played a pivotal role in rebirthing the multiverse after its destruction, creating a new reality where many of the separate Earths were merged into one. In this new reality, Oliver's sacrifice allowed his friends and family to live on. His daughter Mia, from his relationship with Felicity, would grow up to become the new Green Arrow in a future Star City. His son William, from a previous relationship, would become a successful tech entrepreneur. And Felicity, after years of raising their children and continuing Oliver's legacy, would eventually reunite with him in a paradise dimension, fulfilling the Monitor's promise of an eternal reunion. Oliver Queen's journey from a selfish playboy to a selfless hero encapsulates the essence of redemption and growth. He began his crusade seeking vengeance for his father, but ended it by saving the entire multiverse. He started as a lone vigilante, but built a legacy that inspired generations of heroes. He initially believed that his experiences had turned him into a weapon, but ultimately discovered that they had transformed him into a hero. The Green Arrow story teaches us that heroism isn't about supernatural powers or perfect moral clarity. It's about the choice to stand up for what's right, even when it's difficult, even when it requires sacrifice. Oliver Queen failed his city, his friends, and himself many times throughout his journey, but each time he got back up, learned from his mistakes, and tried to be better. That resilience, that commitment to growth and redemption is what made him not just a vigilante, but a true hero. In the end, Oliver Queen's legacy isn't just the lives he saved or the villains he defeated, it's the example he set. An example that proves that anyone, no matter how flawed or broken, can choose to be a hero. That one person with enough determination and courage can make a difference. That sometimes the greatest act of heroism is not defeating an enemy, but inspiring others to find the hero within themselves. As Oliver himself once said, a hero can be anyone, even a man doing something as simple and reassuring as putting a coat around a young boy's shoulders to let him know the world hadn't ended. In life and in death, Oliver Queen embodied this truth, and in doing so, ensured that the Green Arrow would never be forgotten. The story of Oliver Queen reminds us that heroes aren't born. They're forged through adversity, shaped by their choices, and defined by their willingness to sacrifice for others. From the hellish crucible of Lian Yu to the cosmic battlefield of the Crisis, Oliver's journey was one of constant evolution and growth, and though he is gone, his legacy endures in the heroes he inspired, the city he saved, and the multiverse he rebirthed. In the end, Oliver Queen became something else, something greater than a vigilante, greater even than a hero. He became a legend, a symbol of hope and sacrifice that will continue to inspire as long as there are those who remember the man in green who gave everything to save his city, his loved ones, and his world. The Green Arrow may have fired his last arrow, but the impact of his heroism will echo throughout the multiverse for eternity.